Chris, obviously a lot of excitement here at BBC Summit 2023. I think a re-energized conference. Your thoughts about it so far?
Oh, very re-energized. A lot of new blood and a lot of enthusiasm. Real mix of folks. A lot of different folks. Enthusiastic. It's been great. The panels have never been better, I think.
Absolutely, and that's been the one constant in every conversation that I've had so far is that universally people are just amazed by the variety of topics, the quality of the panelists and speakers, and you have been extremely busy on that front as well. Talk about that.
Yeah, I got to be on several different panels, met some new folks, some people I've been familiar with for a long time. We talked about digital equity. We talked about networks that are building in areas where there's already service, and I was on a discussion on the first day with the Coalition for Local Internet Choice and the American Association of Public Broadband, talking about different models there that we're seeing from the public sector and how we're pushing back because we still have barriers. But I just found out today Governor Polis signed the bill, so Colorado is the third state to remove their barriers to community ownership. Arkansas and Washington had done that in 2021, and so there's a whole new movement in general for more local decision making around this work.
Yeah, that is exciting. One would hope that there becomes a little momentum with that, but part of this process that everyone's excited about, without question, the large pot of gold that is waiting at the end of the rainbow. But part of that equation for distribution of that pot of gold is the data that is used to make those decisions. Still a lot of dissatisfaction with what is being worked with. How do we change that? How do we fix it?
Yeah, I have to go back a little bit because this is one of those things that drives me nuts. I can't stand it when people or institutions refuse to admit they made a mistake. And this is the second event I've been at this year where someone from the Federal Communications Commission talked about how great their mapping is, how they've upgraded it. And it's infuriating to me because it's been more than 15 years of people telling the FCC they need to have accurate data. They kicked it down the road. No FCC has bothered to do a good job. Now we have a mess of a new map. The data's not even public in the ways it needs to be, and we don't have the information we need. At best, if the FCC was able to get this information correct, at that point, we would have a map that accurately depicted where broadband services were advertised as being. We wouldn't know anything about pricing. We wouldn't know anything about reliability. And the thing that kills me is that we're nowhere close to that. And every state is trying to figure out how to deal with this amazing opportunity. They don't have the capacity to be correcting millions of errors on the maps. And so we are wasting the limited capacity states have to try to do this. It is embarrassing. And to see the FCC patting themselves on the back for what a great job they're doing, it is distasteful. Even though these are good people, it's not their fault. But we just need them to admit that we need to do better.
And that's the reality of the situation. Knowing that you are the eternal optimist, the reality, though, of the situation is that will greatly impact what happens in the next 5 years with the allocation and the projects. How do we possibly accomplish the goal of truly bridging the digital divide?
Well, I think this is where it is exciting. Joey Wender was up there from the Department of the Treasury, and I agree with him that first of all, I've been nervous about all of the states. I thought some states would do a worse job. I think all of the states are doing better than I feared they might, and I think they're learning, and I think that we will see that even states that make errors are going to get better at it. People will be held accountable if money is not spent well. And then the next round of funds, whether that's from the states or some future federal allocation, if there are people that are left over, it is so important. We will find a way to get them built. But we will see lessons being learned in the way that we did not see lessons being learned as billions of dollars were misspent by the FCC over the previous decade. So that's what gives me hope. It's not that we're going to get it all right now. We're going to keep getting better at it because we are doing it at a more local level.